Ever wondered why some habits stick like glue, while others fade away before they even begin? Why is it that some people can wake up at 5 a.m. every day like clockwork, while others can't resist hitting that snooze button?
Welcome to today's video, where we're diving deep into the fascinating world of habits. How they're formed, how they control our lives, and most importantly, how we can break free from the bad ones and build the good ones. Whether you're looking to kick a bad habit or start a new one, stick around because we're uncovering the science behind the power of habit. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we make psychology simple and exciting.
If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Today's topic is all about understanding the powerful forces that shape our daily routines and how you can harness this power to transform your life. So, without further ado, let's get started. The cue, the trigger of habit. The cue is essentially the trigger that sets your habit into motion. It's the little nudge that tells your brain to go into automatic mode and execute a particular routine. This cue can be anything: a time of day, a specific emotion, a location, or even the presence of certain people.
For instance, smelling coffee in the morning might trigger the routine of making a cup. Or feeling stressed might trigger the habit of biting your nails. 2. Our brains are constantly on the lookout for these cues because they help us conserve mental energy. 2. Once the brain identifies a cue and the associated routine, it can run on autopilot, freeing up mental resources for other tasks. 2. This efficiency is vital for our survival, allowing us to perform countless daily activities without having to think about them consciously. 3. But there's a catch. This automaticity is what makes habits so hard to break. Since the brain relies on these cues to trigger routines, breaking the loop requires disrupting the cue or altering how we respond to it. However, the ingrained nature of these cues can make it challenging to even recognize them, let alone change them. This is why awareness is the first and most crucial step in transforming habits. 5. Cues are often subtle and can fly under the radar, but once you start paying attention, you'll notice patterns. For example, a cue might be as simple as feeling bored, which leads to mindlessly scrolling through social media. Or it could be the time of day, like 3 p.m., when you automatically reach for a sugary snack. Identifying these cues is empowering because it gives you the opportunity to take control and choose a different path. The routine, the behavior itself. Next comes the routine, the actual behavior that the cue triggers. This could be something simple like reaching for your phone when you hear a notification, or something more complex like a workout routine. The routine is the action you take in response to the cue, and it's this part of the loop that we often focus on when trying to change habits. 2. But here's the thing. Routines are deeply ingrained in our brains. 2. Every time you repeat a routine, the neural pathway associated with that habit gets stronger, much like a well-trodden path through a forest. 2. This is why habits feel almost automatic. They've literally carved a path in your brain. 3. This concept is closely related to the idea of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. When you perform a habit repeatedly, your brain builds stronger and faster pathways for that behavior, making it easier and quicker to execute. This efficiency is beneficial when it comes to positive habits, like brushing your teeth or exercising, but it can be a double-edged sword for negative habits, like smoking or overeating. 5. The key to changing routines lies in understanding this neuroplasticity. The more you practice a new routine, the more it will become second nature. However, it's important to note that the brain doesn't erase old habits. It simply forms new pathways. This means that the old habit never fully disappears, which is why old habits can resurface under stress or when you're not paying attention. The goal, then, is to make the new routine so strong and rewarding that it overrides the old one. The reward, the end goal. 1. Finally, we have the reward. The reward is what your brain gets out of performing the routine. It could be something tangible, like the taste of chocolate after reaching for that snack, or something intangible, like the feeling of relief after completing a task. The reward is crucial because it reinforces the habit loop. When your brain enjoys the reward, it starts craving it, which strengthens the habit. 3. This craving is what makes habits so powerful. The stronger the craving for the reward, the stronger the habit becomes. This is why bad habits like smoking or overeating can be so difficult to break. The rewards,
whether it's stress relief, pleasure, or social acceptance, create a strong desire to repeat the behavior. But here's the thing. Our brains are wired to seek rewards, and they don't always distinguish between good and bad. This is why even negative habits can feel so satisfying. They're fulfilling a need or craving, even if only temporarily. 5. But the beauty of understanding rewards is that you can leverage them to your advantage. By identifying what reward you're truly seeking, you can find healthier alternatives that provide the same satisfaction. For instance, if you reach for junk food when stressed because you crave comfort, you might find that a warm bath or a chat with a friend provides the same relief without the negative consequences. 7.
Moreover, when building new habits, it's essential to ensure that the reward is immediate and satisfying. Our brains are wired to respond to instant gratification, so the closer the reward is to the routine, the more likely the habit is to stick.
This is why it's often easier to form habits that offer immediate pleasure, like eating sweets, compared to those with delayed rewards, like exercising for long-term health. By creatively integrating immediate rewards into your new habits, you can trick your brain into embracing them faster. How to break a bad habit. 1. Breaking a bad habit isn't easy, but it's definitely possible. 1.
Here's how you can do it step by step. 2. Step 1. Identify the cue. The first step is to identify the cue that triggers the habit. This might require some self-reflection. What situations, emotions, or people lead you to the habit you want to break? Once you identify the cue, you can start working on avoiding or altering it. 4.
Narrator. For example, if you notice that you reach for a cigarette every time you feel stressed, you've identified stress as your cue.
Once you recognize this, you can start planning alternative ways to handle stress that don't involve smoking. This might include going for a walk, practicing deep breathing, or engaging in a hobby.
6.
Step 2. Replace the routine. Instead of trying to eliminate a habit altogether, which can be extremely difficult, focus on replacing the routine with a healthier behavior. The key here is substitution. For example, if stress leads you to eat junk food, try going for a walk, practicing deep breathing exercises, or drinking a glass of water instead.
9. Substitution is powerful because it leverages the existing habit loop. You're not trying to break the loop entirely, which is often unrealistic, especially for deeply ingrained habits.
Instead, you're changing the middle part, the routine, while keeping the cue and reward intact. Over time, this new routine will start to feel just as automatic as the old one. 10. Step 3. Focus on the reward. Finally, ensure that the new routine provides a reward that satisfies the craving.
If your brain doesn't get the reward it's looking for, the new habit won't stick.
Experiment with different rewards until you find one that works. 12.
Remember, the reward doesn't have to be big. It just has to be meaningful to you. It could be something as simple as a sense of accomplishment, a few minutes of relaxation, or even a small treat. The important thing is that it fulfills the same craving as the old habit but in a healthier way.
And don't forget to celebrate your progress, no matter how small.
Positive reinforcement is key to sustaining new habits. How to build a new habit. 1.
Now, let's talk about building new habits.
1. Whether you want to start exercising, reading more, or becoming more productive, the process is similar to breaking a bad habit but with a focus on creating a new routine.
1. Here's what you need to do. 2. Step 1.
Start small. The key to building a new habit is to start small. Instead of committing to an hour-long workout every day, start with just 5 minutes. The goal is to make the new habits so easy that it's impossible to say no. Starting small is effective because it removes the barriers to action. When a habit is too big or daunting, our brains are more likely to resist it. But by starting with a tiny, manageable action, you build momentum and confidence. Over time, these small actions add up. Understanding and harnessing the power of habit can truly transform your life. By recognizing the cues that trigger your habits, you can start making conscious decisions about which routines you want to keep and which ones you want to change. And by consistently applying these principles, you can build new, positive habits that align with your goals and values. So, what habit are you going to start working on today? Let me know in the comments below. That's it for today's video on the power of habit, how habits are formed and broken. I hope you found this information helpful and inspiring. Remember, Whether you're trying to kick a bad habit or start a new one, understanding the science behind it is the first step to success.